Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to the new card report. The reveals for Phantom Nightmare continue to drop, with the next wave being support for Majespecters. That's right, the legally not Pokemon have more support coming to them. To make them even remotely playable under Master Rule 4, maybe? Let's find out. Majespecter Porcupine Yamarashi is a new level 4 wind spellcaster with 1500 attack and defense and a pen scale of 2. There's no scale effect because Majespecters, and it of course has the obligatory Majespecter unable to be targeted or destroyed by the opponent's card effects because Majespecter is spelled with the same letters as fun. No, I can't read. Haha, get it? Yugioh. This one, Porcupine, can summon itself from the hand if you've got a Majespecter on your board, and on normal or special summon can target a Majespecter spell in your graveyard and set it to your field. By virtue of having a special summoning effect, it's the best Majespecter that the archetype could hope to receive because, man, did they lack, more than one monster on board without the perfect hand. And the recovery of spells is something the deck won't mind, especially with the new one. Hint, hint. It's nothing mind-boggling for the deck, but it is at least helpful. The real talk about this card is how adorable it looks, to the point where it's even getting its own face reveal. Yeah, you can't move the logo for it, I guess, because they just slapped it over its face, so now we get to hype up what it looks like behind the logo, huh? As long as it looks nothing like this, I'm fine with that. Yuck. And moving on from bullying Minecraft YouTubers that haven't been relevant in like a year or two, I think. I don't know, when's the last time anybody... Up next is Majespecter Draco, a wind attribute spellcaster rank 4 Pendulum Xyz with 2300 attack and 2000 defense and a pen scale of 5. The Pendulum effect is simple enough, allowing you to add any Majespecter card from deck to hand if you have a Majespecter or Draco Slayer card in your other Pendulum scale, after which you have to destroy one card in your Pendulum scale. So it's kinda like Luster Pendulum, but not quite. It's the cat search without the delay, is another way to look at it, and a concession by Konami, of course, that the only way to play Majespecters has ever been with a Draco Slayer engine. The monster effect, of course, allows you to pendulum summon this if you can pendulum summon level 4 monsters, and, in more important terms, if a monster is tributed while this is on your field, you can detach a material to summon a level 6 or lower wind spellcaster from your deck. And you can do that up to twice per turn. And if it's destroyed or tributed in the monster zone, it'll place itself in the pendulum scale. My god. The first piece of Majespecter support that actually really can let you get Corinne. There's only one level 6 worth mentioning, baby, and it is arguably the one card worth mentioning from the deck at large in the grand scheme of the metagame, so Corinne, but it's banned, and it has been for a few years. But they did include it, which means either there's a non-zero chance Corinne is coming back, or there's a non-zero chance it's not coming back. Figure that out. Hopium enthusiasts will point out that Monkey Board was unbanned sometime around the Dimension Force giving us new Odd Eyes monsters, and Copium Huffers will point to Electromite not being off the list as of the new Metal Foe support. Only time will tell, but as of now, it's everyone's ban prediction for the upcoming ban list because support. The OCG's getting one in October, so if there's a time, I, of course, will not be adding Corinne to my ban list because I'm not a reasonable man. Shout out to that video. Still, for an actual Yu-Gi-Oh card here, it's fine. It'll let you summon from the deck on the opponent's turn by using their spell and trap to disrupt the opponent, keeping the resource game going for grind your games of Majespecter, and if nothing else, it does look sick. If Corinne comes back, it's really good. Otherwise, it's just good. It also possibly hints at a new version of Corinne. No, I'm kidding. It's just like, did Corinne always look this badass? Like, this is kind of like an upgraded version. Not that I think we're getting a separate Corinne, but like this looks like one. What do I know? I'm moving on to the Link monster. That's enough about this thing. That's right, Majespecter's gotten a Link monster. Something they've desperately needed since 2017 and only 6 years too late. Majespecter Orth is a wind spellcaster Link 2 with 1500 attack and arrows pointing bottom left and bottom right. To summon it, you'll need any 2 pendulum monsters, including at least 1 Majespecter, and on Link Summon, you can activate the effect to lock yourself into only summoning Majespecter and Draco Slayer monsters for the extra deck for the turn. Can you imagine if that was all it did? No, don't worry, this thing is busted as hell. For putting yourself under the lock, you'll be able to take 2 Majespecters from your extra deck and then add them to your hand, and then you can take 2 Majespecter monsters from your decks with different names and place them face up in your extra deck. So just a free pendulum summon, really, because you get the scales and 2 new monsters to summon out. This here makes normal summon Bunbuku search Porcupine into a free pendulum summon for any 2 Majespecters of your choice, and that's without even getting into the, best possible usage of Porcupine's effect to recover a spell. So yeah, it's insanely good for the deck, even though I don't hate the design. Normally I hate monkey looking things, but this one's cool with it. Praise be to Xenu that you can target this one, because that is an Ash proof effect, but it's not imperm proof, so that's the one saving grace, and Lord knows if you have imperm, that's the only fucking Majespecter you'll be hitting anyway, so kudos to Konami for that, because otherwise it would have been just stupid. Majespecter Wind is a new quick play spell, and the last one we've received thus far for the deck, that will let you tribute a Wind spellcaster on activation if you want. You can special summon a Majespecter from your hand or grave when using this card, or if you tributed a monster at activation, you can summon one from the deck instead, giving them a pseudo E-Tele in the best of cases, and if nothing else, a free summon from the hand. It's an extender that also can unbrick some hands if you're cool with tributing. Hell, summon Yada, search this spell, use this spell to tribute Yada and summon Bunbuku, and now you can do the full combo with Porcupine, but Porcupine will set this spell back before you get into your free Link 2. So there are plays you've probably heard about, and this very much helps them get going. Is it always going to end on Secret Village of the Spellcasters? Probably. Lord knows every asshole posting Majespecter replays on Twitter and whatnot is just like, and you see, look, Mom, no interaction. I'm so off the path here. It's good. So let's move on to the part where we talk about, where we summarize, to the summary. All in all, it's a pretty great wave of support for the deck. This gives them a new way to play the game at all in a meaningful way post Master Rule 4, thanks to the new Link monster. And even the Exceeds is a very solid way to get out cards onto your field with its detach effect, or even just flat out searched with the pendulum effect. And they were even kind enough to give us more debates about Corinne, because it's been a while, and fuck it, beats Tearlament discussions, right? Copium. And of course, praise to Xenu again that they had the foresight to put the lock on the Link and also not make it untargetable, because it doesn't just become another pendulum pile of 38 negates, it's a Majespecter pile of some number of negates. Pendulum. Seems mostly fair overall, or at least not insanely broken. It's doing nothing that Pendulum decks weren't doing already, of building big first turn boards and being a general case of time theft. Really, Majespecter needed some amount of very pushed cards because they were one of the decks hit most by the implementation of Master Rule 4, not only due to the restrictions in summoning from the extra deck, but the fact that they need their spell and trap cards to be able to make meaningful plays, and they need to tribute to get those plays. So not only was it hard to get the resources back onto the field to use the spell and trap, you can have less spell and trap by virtue of needing scales. It's so beautifully fucked over by Master Rule 4, it's actually comedic. So I understand making an absurd piece of support or two, and as we approach the next ban list, I of course can't wait to hear all the discussion about Corinne that wasn't there yesterday. And as a bonus, or maybe because I couldn't fit them in any other videos, who knows who could tell you, 2 stragglers from the previous week. First up, Fire King's got the new Chicken Grenade for Chicken Mom. True King Fire Ponix is the best goddamn name they could have given it. A new level 1 fire-winged beast with 500 attack and 200 defense. It can special summon itself from your hand if a fire monster is destroyed by battle or card effect. And on summon, will add a Fire King spell or trap from deck to hand. And just for icing on the cake, if it was destroyed and is in the graveyard, it'll add itself to your hand during the next standby phase. Actually, just a great card. A new way to get Fire King Island, or their new continuous spell to get Fire King Island. Crazy. It's easy as hell to summon in the deck with the Abundance of Destruction, and it recovers itself to be able to do it again and again. Literally, just a good card. Not to mention, A, it's fucking adorable, and I want it, and B, it being a level 1 fire means there's now room for the Diabellstar engine in the deck much more organically, which has proven to be a very efficient engine in the OCG and could give Fire King a much needed push to make it more viable in the metagame. Absolutely amazing. Chicken Grenade, of course, gets a 10 out of 10, and I love it. And last up is the most, that says poggerific, please kill me, card to ever exist to those of us who played in 2013. Blaze, Supreme Ruler of Dragons, is the new rank 7 fire dragon type Xyz with 2800 attack and 1800 defense. The successor to Blaster, the Dragon Ruler of Fire, or I guess it's Infernos, has a very similar effect to the original because it's pretty much just Xyz Blaster. It can detach a material to destroy one card in your hand or on your field, as well as one card the opponent controls, and it can banish 2 fire and or dragon monsters from your hand or grave to special summon itself from your graveyard. But after summoning it this way, it will return to the extra deck when it leaves the field. Holy fuck, this thing looks cool. Can we just start with that? It's depressingly underwhelming that it looks so cool being so goddamn underwhelming, but it is at least possibly the coolest looking Yu-Gi-Oh card ever made. No bias in that sentence. It is at least a non-targeted pop for some copium, and allows you to use a card in your hand or field, which if nothing else is giving you more options than less. So there's that, but I can't really tell you a reason to play this over the Dark Armed Xyz. Not practically speaking anyways. Flex factor for sure, but this thing's maybe the coolest Yu-Gi-Oh monster to date. I already made that joke. What the fuck? And it begs the question, will the other rulers be getting a similar treatment? An Earth one that's a Reborn, a Wind Search, or a Water Foolish? All of those are much more abusable and justifiable for the cost than this Fire one's Destruction is, and it gives us all a reason to get hyped because I, for one, fully support the return of the ruler meta. Fuck it, bring me more big-ass, mean-looking dragons. Rulers making a decade-long return? I can endorse that. And of course, today's update was made possible by contributions to Yugioh Strats by the LAFD Magnetic Display and viewers like you. So, yep, that's right. It's the sponsor code, 15% off using Yugioh Strats to get yourself one of these bad boys. It's a great way to put cards in prison because Konami won't release a goddamn ban list, and also a great way for me to get a little bit of money. Just being honest. Also, it looks good. It does look good. I genuinely like having here. It allows me to incorporate relevant things. I get it. Either way, it's a win-win for sure, right? Is this a good ad? Sure hope so. Thanks to LIFD for the support as always, and of course, thank you for watching. And so that'll be it for this video. Just covering some of the new cards in this one. The regular update will be out on Friday, as usual. Until then, I've been your host, Craig Fee. And make sure you subscribe to Yugioh Strats to impress your smoking Italian wife, and so you too can be a true duelist. This is a solid way to get cards in the deck or in the scale on field. What the fuck is this sentence?